Welcome everybody to the next normal. I'm your host, Sister Jenna. We've been having a whole week of self-care. You like it? It's been good for you, I hope. It's been really good for you, right? We started with self-care for the mind, the importance of really thinking right and not getting trapped by the environment that you're in, the workplace, the country, the politics. The news cycle isn't self-care if it's not uplifting you, if it's not inspiring you to be divine and sacred and pure-hearted and generous-hearted. If those thoughts are not inspiring you that way, then you're not taking care of yourself. And that's why people have lost patience, accommodation power, discernment, love. It's been replaced with attachment to vibrations and ideologies that are just not beneficial for the spiritual light that we all are. And so the foundation of self-care always will begin. What are you thinking about yourself? How are you thinking about yourself reflects in the way you're going to think about others. I've seen myself in situations that even if I pointed out something, you might call it a correction, but it isn't really a correction. It's a cry. It's a cry to help the soul that I love. And on many occasions, they don't hear me. How do I know they don't hear me? They're in the same pattern. I see the same behavior. I feel the same energy from them. And I guess similarly for me too, my friends, family, colleagues, the people of the world, you can see me. When I was going through a health challenge, everybody would tell me, Sister Jenna, are you okay? Please take care of yourself. I mean, you could see it even on camera. I can't hide it. And as a result of that, I just really began to pay a little bit more attention to the food, do a little bit more of exercising, and just pay attention because this is my instrument. The body is my instrument. And I, the soul, am the musician. I'm playing it, you know. So that first aspect of self-care, take care of what you're thinking about yourself and about others. And we looked about self-care for the body. The eating, proper sleep, proper nutrition, exercise, even not pushing it too much. I've seen people, they go on one extreme where they either become bulimic or anorexic, or they eat so much because emotionally, again, something is wrong on both levels. They become overweight, too much, they're holding too much. We're doing a little surprise for Sister Gita's 1-year anniversary, and I'm going through these old pictures, and I'm just looking at how young I used to look. And I was just saying to the family, gosh, responsibility really ages you, you know? And even every time a president comes out of the White House 4 years later or 8 years later, they gray so rapidly because so much energy is being pulled from them. And when energy is being pulled, things get a little more decayed, right? That's why the connection to God is so important. The more you're connecting to God, you're taking care of the self, you're taking care of the instrument, the body, and then of course you can start to take care of these relationships, your surroundings, your environment that's around you. Today I want to talk about recreational self-care. I spoke to a friend of mine yesterday, and she went on a vacation and came back into the grime of Washington D.C. drama. And I said, you know, those feelings you had on vacation when you looked at the beautiful sunrise coming up or the sunset going down, you remember that feeling? She says, oh gosh, I want that all the time. I said, that's Raj Yoga meditation. That's the feeling you have when you're in the concrete jungle. I don't have to go to an ocean, even though I want to retire there. But that feeling you get of freedom, comfort of just calm, ease, relaxation. That's the way we're supposed to be in our everyday life. However, we're not. So what do I do for recreation that gives me some element of self-care? Take up a hobby. There was a time I used to love to learn different languages. I used to just pick up a different language over and over again. Now I'm just so lazy. I barely can speak Spanish. But the point is, I would pick up a different language to learn, especially when I was traveling to different countries. I don't know if Santosh remembered when I was going to Egypt and just automatically Arabic started to come out of me, and I started to do this Arabic training on Rosetta, whether it's Korea, learning Korean, French, Spanish, Portuguese. I'm still struggling with my Hindi, but it's a little better. I'm in love with Telugu. So Swahili, I loved Swahili. So I used to pick up all these languages and learn them. And I remembered how it gave me a sense of comfort knowing my world was getting bigger. You know what I mean? So sometimes you might say, yeah, I speak 8 languages, but I want to speak more. There's 190 something countries in the world. But the point that I'm making is, an element of self-care is to cultivate new ideas, new concepts. So you might learn a new language. Maybe you are interested in learning to play a new instrument, music, for example. Maybe a dance routine. Dancing is so therapeutic. One of the things that really had calmed Sister Gita's childhood trauma was her ability to just get up in the middle of a dance floor and just start dancing. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Feels so good. And when she was done, like, everybody felt good, you know, because it was so therapeutic. But it was also her form of recreational self-care. Sometimes we go to a nightclub to just find relief. Some of us cultivate different habits of self-care that sometimes actually drain more energy from you. Maybe they drink too much. Maybe they're smoking too much. Maybe they're taking too much, prescribed medicines to keep them going, or too much CBD or marijuana, whatever it is. We sometimes take these things to give us some kind of comfort, but it's all emotional. It's emotional, it's spiritual, it's mental. And marijuana, alcohol, smoking, overeating, undereating, lifting way too much weights for your body to be way too big that it's not manageable, it's not normal. For your body to get so expanded that you're just not able to find your balance, it's not normal. Undereating, I must have mentioned that as well. To become bulimic. Binge watching the news, binge watching television series, movies, thrillers, being able to find comfort in these things, there's a need for a balance. So when we look in recreation, self-care, we look at our moments in time, the steps that you're taking on the floor. Sometimes imagine, everyone who follows behind my vibration, may there be peace. That's a recreation activity that I do. That may there be a vibration of love or peace behind me, and whoever walks in that space should feel it. If I get up from my seat, I'll be like, whoever sits in my seat, Baba, let them feel peace and love. Just recreational things doesn't have to be going out to play soccer or volleyball or basketball. Those are good and keep doing them. But also to be able to entertain your mind and simple activities. Find entertainment and joy in them too. Very simple things. Your walking can be an activity. You're looking at the trees and thinking about the seed. One little tiny seed grew this humongous chestnut tree that's in front of the property. One seed. How powerful. And season after season, it gives us chestnuts. In the same way, you don't have to do a lot of things to find your spiritual comfort for your recreational activities. I'm noticing people online are finding things to redo from plastic. They're finding ways of putting together jars and bottles that they could have thrown away and being creative with it. People are beginning to become creative with cooking food. You know, there is a time you just made macaroni and cheese, and now it's macaroni and cheese and everything else. And, you know, Indian recipes are now becoming quite creative. You know, biryani is now almost like fried rice. It's much easier to make. It's experiments. Find recreation in everything that you do. You don't have to live at the gym. You don't have to stay on the windmill. You don't have to keep running from one vacation to another, going to a nightclub all the time to find self-care. You do them occasionally, but every day of your life you have an opportunity to not only recreate but enjoy the simple aspects of things. You make peanut butter and jelly for the kids, for example. Then you try something with it. You put something unique in it. You try, this is not healthy. You put a little condensed milk in it. I used to make for my grandfather, he used to love grapefruits. Now, you know grapefruit is really good for you, but not when you pour condensed milk on it. So he used to love his grapefruits, and I used to cut it for him, slice it up, pour the grapefruit, mix it up, and he would eat it. It was just delicious. But it came from something creative. So in order to really enjoy recreational self-care, pay attention to those small moments. Find creativity in what you do. Do something different and new. Even when you clean your kitchen, do it with a little bit of flavor. When you sweep the floors, it can be a little entertaining. Sometimes you go in the kitchen, everyone's cooking, everyone's happy. You dance into the kitchen very peacefully. It's a form of self-care. All right, so let's take a few moments of meditation together. And what I love about, you know, the Raj Yoga meditation teaching is you don't have to close your eyes for meditation. You can if you want. But open-eyed meditation leaves you aware and conscious when you're walking and when you're moving around. You can be thinking the highest thoughts. Let's take a deep breath in. Breathe in. The beauty of breath. It's so comforting to the soul and the body, isn't it? How often do you value your breath? It's like a recreation, isn't it? Keep doing deep breathing. Slow your life down is sometimes moving fast. To find creativity in my simple moments. It's a sign of recreational self-care. It's just my pause. Sometimes it's a redirection. I take care of myself when I use my moments wisely. I look for the happiness in my moments. I look for joy as my recreation. I can sit in a room with people and be happy to be together. To just be comfortable in everyone's company. That's a recreation. To just enjoy the company of the people with me. That's recreation. Don't have to run away to find pleasure, freedom, peace, release. I can find it with the people that I'm with. By just being in joy in their company. And take a deep breath in and breathe out. It's very simple, isn't it? And yet sometimes we miss it. You ever seen yourself sitting with your family and either the family just doesn't want to sit with you or they don't seem comfortable in your presence? Not that it has anything to do with you. It's just they always want to escape from you. You've seen it with your teenagers. You want to be in the family and talk and do something together, and you see they're just not present. They're somewhere else. They want something else. They go to their rooms. They're escaped. They don't want to be with you. And then they complain, "You're not spending any time with us." And you're like, "I don't know what to do." When you make yourself present, they disappear. When you're not present, they say you don't have time with them. It's like recreation needs a balance. That when you are sitting together in a room, then you enjoy that. You talk, you work on a project with the family, you think about what you'd like to do for the holidays or for a birthday or for school project or maybe even your own work project. And there's recreation in enjoying the moments together with people. And I find that when people are together, but they're not enjoying each other's company, they want to run away and find their own enjoyment. And I have never, maybe you have, but I have never seen people becoming better by that. It's like you want your kids to be with you. You might be worrying about doing things, maybe you're cooking, cleaning, and they're like, "Mom, Dad," and you're like, what? Can you just, why don't you come and help me in the kitchen, honey, then we can talk. That's recreation. Invite them to come and help you in the kitchen. Teach them that. Sometimes if they're gaming, and that's their own world, and you really are not interested in it, but maybe there's some joy. What are they finding in this? Show me, what are you doing? You might end up being better than your kids in gaming. Don't get stuck on it though. And if it's brothers, you might demasculate your son, so make him win, okay? It's just, we can find recreation in anything. And if for whatever reason, in your family or at the workplace, folks are not seeming very enthused, they're not bright, they're not alive, you know? Don't give up on giving them your good wishes and your blessings. Maybe their phase that they're going through is just a little bit longer than you want it to be. I've often thought that when I go through a phase, it shouldn't be more than a month or two, if that much. That's even way too long. That's way too long. That's some deep-rooted habits. But that internally I should be working on something for myself. You want people to be happy with you. It's a form of recreation. We go where we can find joy. We want to find happiness or joy or excitement or growth or inspiration. That's why we need recreation, right? Why can't I get it with the people that I live with? Why don't I get it with the people that I work with? Because we're not aware that we have a responsibility in keeping the atmosphere of joy with each other. It's my responsibility. Sometimes I might not always be 100%, but I'm not so selfish that I don't care about the environment. I'm self-full that I feel like I have to contribute to the environment. And that's a form of recreation. And it requires a balance too. All right, let's take a look at AI and see what kind of a recreation self-care is. It's to engaging in enjoyable activities or hobbies that promote relaxation, fun, and overall well-being. It's about taking time to do things that bring joy and refresh the mind, body, and spirit. See? These activities can help reduce stress, improve your mood, and provide a sense of accomplishment or creativity. Recreation, self-care is often an opportunity to step away from responsibilities and recharge. I'm saying not to step away from the responsibility. I'm saying find recreation in your responsibilities. Okay, so I'm going to correct AI on that. So examples of recreational self-care: physical activities, creative hobbies, leisure activities, social activities. Solo adventures. The key is to choose activities that you genuinely enjoy and that align with your interest, allowing you to fully immerse yourself in the moment and feel rejuvenated. So today's conversation on balancing the recreation of self-care is to pay attention to the moments you have, wherever you are with people and whatever it might be, that you make the environment happy or inspiring or loving or kind or peaceful, but you're contributing to the environment. Okay? All right, let's go to the Sister Gita effect and listen to what she has to say.
The art of thinking as an art. The word art sometimes implies a God-given gift, but regardless of its origin, a work of art usually has to be nurtured, developed, and refined by the artist. So too with the art of thinking. We all are blessed with the ability to create thoughts, that is, we can think. However, making the art of thinking powerful to enable ourselves to experience goodness and beauty in life and share that with others requires a process of training and discipline. I myself, the spiritual being, train and discipline my own mind. Just as an art truly flourishes against the backdrop of a certain quality of culture, in the same way, the right company, atmosphere, and study are all necessary to develop my art of thinking. In the early days of this self-training to become the best me, it was very helpful to be able to share and connect with others who are engaged in a similar process in order to harness the necessary power. Later on, in this fascinating journey, I will probably be able to manage without the additional input from others, because by then the internal power I have developed will enable me to understand any contradictory forces. Hence, I can welcome the best of me. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Gita. Today's elevated blessings and good wishes. The mirror of the power of your mind are your words and your actions. The mirror of the power of your mind are your words and your actions. Whether it is souls who have a lot of spiritual knowledge or not, in relationship or connection with both, your words and your actions must continue to be filled with good wishes and pure feelings. Indeed, indeed. Don't you love it? You just, every day, you're going to become better and better every day. Hi, Suman Devi. Good morning. Everyone loved the recreation perspective. So true. Thank you for giving us this joy. You're welcome, Sonia C. Hi, Gali. Hi, Rashmi. Jagruti, my favorite way to start the day. Thank you, Sister Jenna, and the community. Love and Shanti to you all. Thanks, Jagruti. Accepted. Annette, I try to remind people to breathe when I see or feel their stressed energy. It truly helps. I agree, Annette. Hi, Ed Robes. Faith, nice to have you. Got the time. Dinesh Chaudhry, I love your show, Sister Jenna. Thanks for giving me a peaceful life. Jokes Guru, you're awesome, Sister Jenna. We're thankful. Manmohan, Tulas Kumar, Sharda, Dr. K, Lilawati. Think in English Zone. Well, that's a good handle. I haven't seen that one. Raj, good morning. Taking care of self is an important theme. I find it useful for daily life. Hi, Nina, Gigi, Neha, and Indra. Thank you all so much. It's important, no? Nowadays to be able to really have a handle on one's care for the self. Sometimes we're lacking that love that we just don't take care of the self enough. Thank you all for joining us today. Hope you took some benefit from today's segment on self-care. Please do take care of yourselves and be kind to your mind. Really, guys, if you really don't feel good spiritually, stop what you're doing. Whatever pattern you are practicing, it's hurting you. If you can't feel fresh or enthused, and your life isn't really all that bad, you're not doing something right to yourself. Please don't deceive yourself in 2025. You have to take care of yourself. It's an internal job. In being in a room with 1 million people, think right. You can be in a room by yourself, think right. You can be in your room with your enemy, think right. Okay? Keep practicing to love everybody the same, and your attachments will get less. Om Shanti. Hopefully you'll get a chance to visit one of our Brahma Kumaris Meditation Centers. And if you just come online to the brahmakumaris.org site, you should be able to find any BK center in your area. Come and get some help if you need it. We all need to get very, very strong now. Okay? Om Shanti. Take care.